everyone, Kaori over here with my homegirl.
Woo! Ann Campea.
Yeah, that's right, Ann Campea.
Or that girl.
Or that girl. Jughead-et. So, in case you're wondering why I mentioned Jughead, it's because we're going to talk about Riverdale the whole entire season. I watched the show, and then she watched the show as well, obviously, because we're not going to talk about a show we haven't watched. And we're just going to give you our positives and our negatives and our overall thoughts of Season 1 and what we hope and expect for Season 2 as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to give our positives and our negatives. And I just said that. But also, it's been a while, okay? Also, it's going to have a lot of spoilers. So if you haven't watched Riverdale and you plan on watching Riverdale, then I would press pause and then come back 13 hours later. Or however many episodes there are. So, yeah, here we go. Anne.
Okay.
Let's talk about some of the positives.
Jughead is a positive. I think I said early on that to Kaori, I think this is my favorite character in the show.
And you thought he was hot?
And I thought he was hot until Kaori pointed out so nicely that he is the little boy from Friends. Ross's son.
I can't get used to it.
And then I was thoroughly grossed out after that. So, but I do have to say Jughead is a positive. I think they did a really good job in executing his character and really adding depth to a character that would, in my opinion, and I'm not as closely tied to the comics as you are, but that didn't really have that much flavor to that character in the comics, right? And then in the show, it feels like they really went all out to make sure his character was really dynamic, had a good story arc to it, and we see that play out in the season finale. Yeah, that's I think we're going to talk about.
That's a really good point because in the TV show he's a lot more dimensional, whereas in the comic book he almost comes off as asexual, and you kind of question like, all right, well he dates Midge here and there or Ethel and stuff, but he just doesn't care about sex. And here, he's caring about that stuff, and
he's emotional. You know, he's. For those that have been following, he's with Betty now, and there's a good kind of what do you call it, yin and yang, like they're not quite the same, but they work together dynamic going on. So like I said, I think he's a really good positive. I would also say for me, casting wise, I think the show did an excellent job.
Yes, I agree.
There were so many people that in being in your 30s is like, holy crap, like Luke Perry, Skeet Ulrich. I forget the.
I thought you were going to talk about like teenagers. Or
no, like, not at all. I'm too old for that. Like I don't know who these. I don't know who these younger people are. Let's talk about the parents. Like they did such a good job casting the parents. They're people that if you're, like I said, in your 30s, you remember them from shows like 90210 and Melrose Place, and it's really cool to see them come back in a similar drama, but as the parents now.
Yeah, it's so weird because Luke Perry, I mean, obviously he's not going to have a different voice, but he sounds like Dylan McKay.
Yes.
You know, and like his emotions comes out just like Dylan McKay.
Yes.
Like, Dylan McKay had a son named Archie.
I know. Who knew? I was telling Corey, it would have been so funny if they somehow still tied in their old characters.
Crazy.
Like, he's still Dylan from 90210, but in this life, it would have been bizarre, but...
And then they had the Molly Ringwald thing.
Right.
She came by. And what I always forget the actor's name who plays Alice Cooper's husband. But he's always in those comedies being like most like the secondary ridiculous character.
Yes.
So it's kind of weird seeing him being serious, but it's kind of cool too.
Robin Givens is in there. For those who remember her.
But she was like
her old
kind of like useless.
I know.
In the show. Not her, but it was like...
That's true.
The mayor was... Oh, and it was weird. What did you think of Miss Grundy? I haven't talked to her about all of this. We were like kind of holding this up.
I don't know. I want to know what you think.
Okay, so in the comics, Miss Grundy is a lot older.
Yeah.
And it was just weird that they made her young and a cradle robber.
Right. Visually, she doesn't look that much older than Archie does.
Not at all.
Like, they didn't even try to go there.
Yeah. They were just like, fuck it, dude.
They probably thought they would get so many complaints from people. Like.
Yeah. I didn't like that storyline, and I was glad that it ended as soon as it did.
Yeah.
It just didn't sit well with me. It wasn't. Every time they would like every time he would like make out with her, it just made me really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And even when she was justifying herself, like she's been abused, I'm like, why are you?
Right.
it just
you don't
didn't
really
feel
have.
right.
I didn't really have to your point. I don't feel like I had sympathy for that character as much as they wanted you to have for her character.
And maybe she was just a point to have us kind of think she might be the one who killed Jason Blossom, because I thought she was a possible suspect for sure, especially since she had similar ties with Jason Blossom as she had with Archie, and they're both redheads and stuff.
Right.
But,
Right.
I thought it was another show stealer who was huge. Well, they're all show stealers. I think Betty really took away.
Yes.
She has a lot more dimension as well. But Cheryl, never. I don't even think they expected her to be such a popular character as they were making this show.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, I think she's just really, every scene, it's not even just her acting, it's just visually with her hair and her red lips and just everything. It was like a magical scene, every single scene she was in.
Oh, totally. She scares me.
Yeah.
She scares the living crap out of me. Like, I still don't really know what to think of her character, whether she's batshit crazy, but, like, is she on the good side, or is she playing a game and she's going to end up being the most evil character on that show? I don't know.
That's an interesting point, because in the comics, she kind of pivots back and forth as well. She's actually Archie's third love interest, and the only time Betty and Veronica kind of team up is a lot of times against Cheryl, because they try to, like, block her from Archie, who has a wandering eye, and he's kind of a playboy. And I think we'll go back and forth. Those are negatives and positives.
Sure.
But it's just the thought process is, I think Archie's kind of boring. He's the most boring character on Riverdale, which is ironic because he's supposed to be the main character.
Yeah.
But he doesn't even really, you know how sometimes, there are some characters who are kind of the boring one. Like in Sex and the City, Kaori, when you think of it, she's like the most subdued of all of them. Well, everyone has extremes, and she's kind of like the boring one.
Right.
Archie might have been that person to catapult like other people's personalities, but didn't. He's just boring.
He is.
Kind of almost could have done without him.
Do you think it's the actor, or do you think it's the way the character is written?
I think it's the way the character is written.
Yeah.
But, I wanted it, because he's supposed to be a good guy, but then he, like, has all these people liking him, and he could have been more of an asshole or something,
right?
You know?
Maybe they're reserving that. Like,
Maybe.
they just want to set you up to, like you said, this is how Archie is. This is his archetype for season 1, and then maybe as we get into the following seasons and things start to shake up a little more, maybe he'll become more of a bad boy later.
Yeah,
who knows?
That's possible.
Especially with Veronica kind of influencing his personality. I don't know.
What do you think of? What do you think of Veronica?
I think she has been the most consistent character in terms of, she came to town having a past, but she's trying to rectify that, being there. So I think consistency-wise, she hasn't really strayed away from that in every story that they've had her play out in. I don't know. I still feel like Betty is still... If I had to choose between the two main females, I would think Betty is still a more intriguing character.
I definitely agree. I think I was a little bit disappointed with Veronica's character, just in the sense that she wasn't as much of a bitch as she kind of is in the comic books. And I wanted her to see her be a bitch. And every time she talks about, I came from New York and I used to be this kind of person, I'm like, where is she?
Right.
Where's she at?
Yes.
Like her mom's kind of a bitch. It's like that.
Yeah, her mom is pretty bad. Yeah, you're right.
Like her mom has like good intentions, but she'll do fucked up shit to protect. And that's kind of like what Veronica is kind of like in the comics.
Right.
Maybe that'll change too.
Sorry.
We have
Wakame's entertaining me over here. Again, maybe it's one of those things where they just want you to get used to the way the characters are, and then they can start to really push that in season 2.
She's like, did you say bitch? I'm here. But I mean, I really liked the parents.
Yes.
I think all of them. My feelings for, like, for example, Alice Cooper, made him Amex's character, completely changed. Like, from the first episode all the way to the end, like, I hated her character. I'm like, why is she so evil?
Right.
And then suddenly she had these motivations, and it made sense, and then you started feeling for her. So I really thought they did well with those, with that character and other ones. But what overall, what do you think of this season finale? Everything leading up to it. Were you shocked with who killed Jason Blossom?
Yeah.
You were?
I don't know that I was shocked. I think, what did I tell you I was more shocked about? Oh, I was more shocked about Polly and Betty's kind of like relationship happening behind the scenes, like how they were kind of setting up Polly to figure out what was going on in the Blossom house. I thought that to me was more of a shocker. I didn't see that coming, versus finding out who the killer was.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
What about you?
It's almost like I wasn't shocked, but at the same time, I wish it was a main character.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Because that would have been a lot more impactful. For a while, I thought it could be Betty because we were seeing indications of her hands and she just had like that dual personality. And I was wondering how would they survive that if the reality was she killed Jason when she was someone else.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting.
That would have been really crazy.
And we would have been behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But is there anything else? I mean, we're covering a lot of episodes. It's kind of hard for our
I know. I think overall, as the first season, it was great. It was great storytelling. I think they started off really strong with the first episode. And, setting up the season where like, oh my gosh, who murdered this guy? And then the season finale, I absolutely loved the season finale. I think it's setting us up for some really interesting storylines in season 2. I love the angle with Jughead getting the jacket at the end, the serpent jacket.
Were you excited that they were about to have sex? Because I was...
Not really.
I was surprised. I'm like, they didn't do it yet? Why are they making such a big deal? It should have been done.
Only because when he took his shirt off, I was like, oh, he's like so small. So it's just a small guy. But
yeah, he ran like a...
Yeah,
which is fine, Yeah.
I'm really excited to see how that plays out, though. Like having the backing of the serpents and his father still being in prison, and
do you think Fred survives?
We want to go there now.
We must.
I don't know. I was shocked though. That was a shocker in the season.
That
finale.
was a shocker.
Do you think he survives?
I hope so. It's Luke Perry.
I read
Andrew's side.
We read an article, right? Or did I read it after? I don't know. I was in shock, but I remember reading an article with Luke Perry and him saying he doesn't even know whether the character
yes, that's right.
survives or not. He hasn't been told anything yet.
He needs to survive because he needs to wake up and think he's Dylan McKay.
Yes.
And then, Kelly has to come in and Brandon has to come in.
I have to see the scenes between Luke Perry and who Kaori was so awesome to tell me who got cast as Veronica's dad, which is Mark Consuelos.
That's so gonna happen.
Again,
they're gonna kick each other's asses.
Awesome freaking casting for us 30-year-olds who know all of these actors from when they were big back in the day, and now they're coming back into this show. I need to see a scene with Mark Consuelos and Luke Perry in it.
It's so funny because when I told her that it was gonna be Mark Consuelos as Hiram Lodge, I looked at Anne like, do you know who Mark? The guy married to Kelly Ripa. She's like, Mark Consuelos. Oh my God, really?
All my children fans will know. They will know, and they will back me on that.
So I didn't know she was into daytime soaps.
Yes, fun fact.
Fun facts.
What else? What else happened? I guess Luke, him getting shot was probably the biggest shocker for me in the season.
That was even more shocking than who killed Jason Blossom. What did you think of? Reggie's leaving. They're replacing the actor. She farted. What did you say?
Not me.
Wakame. No, Wakame. Wakame, not her. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, any predictions?
Oh well, I do predict Jughead and Betty will not survive.
I don't think so.
Their relationship will not survive.
There's going to be an affair.
The newest dynamic happening with the serpent jacket. I think she's not going to be able to handle that.
I think there's going to be an affair. Like Archie's going to really.
You think so?
Yeah, but I think Archie's going to still continue to be boring.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That sucks. That kind of does suck. That is probably my biggest negative of the show.
I don't even buy that he likes these girls. Like when he fell for Valerie, which was super random.
That was random.
Super random. And then he falls for Veronica, and you think, my thing is like, this is a guy that just like stage 5 clinger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he just needs to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
All the while, like, he had Betty from the beginning of the season. Like,
Yeah.
he wanted to be with her, and he just hasn't. And I'm like, you're an idiot. Whatever.
She's the best.
Yeah, she is the best, and you're screwing it up. So
Yeah, and then Cheryl wanted a piece. I mean, everyone likes
I know,
Archie.
you're right.
Yeah.
Even the freaking teacher, Miss Grundy.
Miss Grundy, yeah. Oh my God, everyone wanted a piece of Archie. I mean, granted, first episode window, and he's all ripped. It's like, oh my God, that was kind of insane.
It's kind of nice.
Kind of nice, yeah. Okay, anything else before we close shop and watch Queens and Kings?
No. Do you have any predictions though?
So I do predict that John will never finish up season 1.
True.
I also predict, I think Jughead's gonna kind of turn bad for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's there.
Mm-hmm.
I think just because he wants to like honor his dad, especially since his dad made such a sacrifice.
Right.
I hope Fred survives, but I think he will survive because there has to be a confrontation between him and Mr. Lodge. I mean, they're making that a big deal, right? How she tried to sell his business so to get him out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that I think that's purpose there, and I think there's going to be some adultery with the adults.
Oh, yeah, you know that's coming.
Yeah,
You know that's. I mean, it's a CW show, so I don't know how far they can push that.
yeah.
But yeah, that's for sure happening.
Do you have any predictions on what's going to happen to Cheryl and her mom?
You're right. That we didn't touch on that much. I feel like Cheryl's going to become more of her mother. That's my prediction.
Oh, but her mom
More like her
sucks.
mother. Exactly.
Ugh.
What about you?
Oh, I hope not, but I think you're right. Like, I think Cheryl's destined to be one of those characters who is an asshole, but because she doesn't know any way to live,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So, yeah, and Polly's boring, too. Pretty boring.
Well, she's gonna have the baby, so. there's
Oh,
that.
yeah! I wonder if she's finally going to have a baby. She's been...
We'll have a baby in next season, probably.
How long has she been 5 months pregnant?
I don't know.
You're
You're right. Who knows?
But, okay, well, that's it. And thanks for doing this video. If you come back
Yeah.
more often, people
Of
are
course.
been asking about Speak Nerdies and stuff. But yeah, so don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, follow Ann at Ann Campea everywhere.
Yes.
Follow me at Kaori everywhere. I'll put it down below in the info section. And keep the conversation going with what you thought of Riverdale Season 1 as well. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.